happy Aloha Friday. I'm Ariel Leon, as you know, and today our practice is really about getting into the hips. So they say that we store a lot of emotions in our hips. And if you think about it, like if your knees ever buckle because you're afraid, right? Where does that energy get stored? So sometimes it gets stored in the hips. So as we open up the hips, it's an opportunity to just release some of that repressed emotion, perhaps. But really, I just want this to be a practice where you can be in relationship with yourself, knowing what you're feeling, knowing what your thoughts are doing, and being aware that they're just your thoughts and they don't create the real you. The real you is a conscious mind that's just living in this life, this crazy life as a human with emotions and feelings and the dynamics of family and relationships and all of that. So as you move through your practice today, just let it be a bonding moment for yourself to get to know yourself. So we'll hit play together. If you'd like to practice to music, you can hit that play button in 3, 2, 1, go for it. And then make your way into child's pose. So you'll come onto your shins. And go ahead and bring your toes together, but allow your knees to be wide. And that way you can walk your hands forward and rest your belly between your thighs. And as you wiggle your hips side to side, just feel you're already doing the work. You're already starting to open your hips. You can rest your forehead on the floor. But if that makes it difficult to breathe through your nose, you're welcome to stack your hands underneath your forehead instead. Or try drawing your chin closer to your chest so you have your hairline on the earth. Your arms can be stretched long, straight out in front of you, or take your elbows wide so your forearms align with the sides of the mat. As you settle in here, take a few deep breaths. Slowly becoming aware of your human body breathing itself. Slowly expanding through the ribs and belly. Letting the breath out deeper and deeper with every round. The more you exhale, the more you inhale. The more you give, the more you get. You might even notice at the very end of your out breath, when you really press out the breath, there's this slight drawing in and up of your abdomen at the very root. And then on the in breath, feel that expansion. On every exhale, you have an opportunity to let something go. Let go of any expectations you might have for your day today. Let go of any need for things to unfold in any certain way. Because as we know, what this year has taught us is that everything is uncertain. But the beauty of that is when everything is uncertain, anything is possible. So breathe into possibility. Breathe in an intention. What do you want to create today here on your mat? Hold that intention with you. Sip it in deep down through your nose. Express it out of your mouth. Let it go. Take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, simply stretch a little longer through your fingertips. Extend through your arms like a cat. Reach, reach, reach. And then go slow as you rise up onto your hands and your knees. Take your time to stack your bones with your wrists beneath your shoulders and your knees beneath your hips. Move into cow pose. Breathe in, look forward, sway your chest towards your mat as you lift your tail. And then breathe out as you round your spine. Bring your head down between your arms, push the ground away. Do that a few more times. Feel free to close your eyes and be in relationship with your body. Feel your shoulder blades kiss together on your back as your heart melts. Breathing out, feel your shoulder blades protract as you push the ground away. Breathe in, lift your tailbone, widen through your sits bones. Breathe out, feel your cat tail curl between your legs. Now in these last 2 cycles, I invite you to move any spirals through your head, your ribs, or your hips. Just doing what the body needs. No worries. As long as you're moving with your breath, you're doing a great job. Okay. Now find a neutral spine with your shoulders on your back and your ribs pulled in. From here, we'll bring the knees together and extend the right leg back. So you have your right foot floating in the air just behind your right hip. Spiral your toes inward so your inner thigh can spiral to see the sky. Feel your bottom ribs pull in as you push the ground away. Grounding into your fingertips, the metacarpal knuckles. Take another breath in. Now as you exhale, bend your right knee to your right elbow. Engage the obliques of the right side body. On your breath in, re-extend your right leg back behind you. Now cross your right leg over to the left so you can tuck your right toes under just off the edge of the left side of your mat. Then looking over your left shoulder, can you see your right foot? Pausing here, breathe into the right side of your waist and push the ground away with your right hand. Now we'll move it with the breath. On your next inhale, lift your right heel in line with your hip. On your breath out, right knee to right elbow or tricep. Inhale, re-extend through your right tippy toes. Now crisscross, right toes move over to the left on a diagonal as you look over your left shoulder, press through the right hand. Do that again. Inhale to lift your right heel. Exhale, right knee, right tricep or armpit. Inhale, re-extend through your tippy toes. Crisscross over to the left side, body stretch. Awesome. And then lifting your leg, we'll draw that right knee out towards the elbow again. This time though, extend your right leg directly out to the right and put your foot on the floor. So your foot is on the ground, the whole sole, and you have the toes pointing forward, just like your fingertips. Try to get that heel to line up with your left knee. And then we'll create a twist. So keeping the right hand down, lift your left arm up towards the sky. Breathe. Take a full breath in. Now thread the needle. Exhale as you weave your left arm underneath your right arm and reach for your extended leg. Maybe even stand on your hand. You can put your big toe in your fingertips, curl your fingers around it perhaps. And then it might feel good to walk your right hand forward, gazing up underneath your right arm. That right foot is on the ground like a kickstand, so you can really twist. Try to get your shoulder blades towards the floor. Awesome. One more. Great. Now keep your legs as they are as you make your way towards tabletop with the hands beneath the shoulders. And simply tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee off the ground like you're doing a asymmetrical downward facing dog. Kind of like a wide-legged forward fold with your legs, but your arms feel like downward dog with your hands at the top of the mat. You can spiral your inner thighs back, broaden through your sits bones. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, now glance up at your hands just to shift a little more weight into your palms. And then like a fan kick, lift your right foot off the ground, a big kick into a 3-legged dog with a bent right knee. Open up through your hips. You could draw some knee circles with that right knee if you like, or just keep the hips turned open to the side. Do your best to relax your left calf so your heel sinks towards your mat. Okay. Level off the weight in your shoulders. Press, press, press. One more breath. Awesome. Then begin to step forward with that right foot. Place it outside of your right hand on the ground for lizard pose. Lower your left knee to the floor. Now the hands can come onto the mat or the blocks on your fingertips like claws perhaps. And then we'll loop the shoulders back, lift the heart. Stay up on your hands or bring your elbows down if you'd like. And even add a sway side to side with your hips, right and left. Just think what's going on in that right hip socket, that ball and socket joint. Maybe if you close your eyes, the awareness will deepen. You can find there's something you could let go of in there, a muscle engagement you didn't even know was engaged. Relax the back of your neck and notice how that makes your whole back body stretch. We'll be here for 2 more deep breaths. Awesome. Now an optional quad stretch. So you can take your hands to the ground or keep your elbows down. The right hand is going to be reaching back. So you can grab your left foot. Now if your foot's floating in the air and it's hard to catch, just take your foot back down. I don't want you to get a hamstring cramp. But if you have your foot in your hand, first thing to do is to kick your foot into your hand to help you open up your heart, your shoulders, your chest. And then keeping your heart open, start to fold the back knee, bring your heel in towards the outer left glute. Breathe. Listen to the left quad. Coax it to release. Fill it with breath. 2 more. Last one. Well done. Now you can let your foot go behind you and then heel toe your right foot in between your thumbs. So it's right in the middle of the mat. Now start to shift your hips back for half splits. So lengthen through your right leg. Stack your hips on top of your left knee. With your wrists beneath your shoulders, hands can be on the blocks or the mat. And then check out your right toes. Notice them spreading wide. Press out with the ball mount of your right foot and try to ground through your right heel as if you could pull the floor back. Nice. Feel your sitting bones broaden, lengthen through your back. Gently fold forward, every breath out a little bit deeper. Check in with your jaw. Check in with the back of your neck. Check in with yourself. Three more breaths. Awesome. Find some length through your arms and your spine, and then simply weave your right foot through your arms so you can come back to tabletop, hands and knees on the floor. We'll reset the spine with a few rounds of cat-cow. Breathe in as you melt your heart down, look forward. Breathe out as you round your spine. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Awesome. One more time. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale, press and round. Awesome. Other side. First, bring your knees together and then extend your left leg back behind you. Pressing through your tippy toes. Feel the strength through your left quad and glute. Ground into every finger pad, every knuckle too. Now take a breath in. Stay for the exhale, toe in the low abdomen. Extending from toes to crown, take another breath. Now exhale, left knee to left elbow, touch. Good, inhale, re-extend through your left leg. Then a lateral side body stretch. Bring your left toes to the ground just outside the right edge of your mat and look over your right shoulder at your foot. Push down through your left hand a lot. Good, 2 more just like that. Inhale, lift your heel, look forward. Exhale, left knee, left tricep, strong obliques. Inhale, re-extend through your tippy toes. And then crisscross, left toes to the right, touch the ground, look at your foot. Another round. Inhale, lift your heel. Maybe your knee touches your shoulder head or your armpit this time. Nice. Inhale, press back. Crisscross and tap. This time we'll lift the heel, breathe in. Draw your knee open towards your elbow and then kick your foot out to the side, to the left. Have your left heel lined up with your right knee, the toes pointing forward. And here's where we twist. So the left hand stays on the earth beneath your heart and the right hand will lift. Feel as if the right hand can move the floor down and to the left. Let that help you open your heart even more. Nice, breathe in. Good, now exhale as you wrap your right arm underneath your left. Take your head to the earth or to the block. And you can walk your left hand forward, maybe like a claw. If you want, you can stand on your hands, wrapping your fingers around that big toe. Just do your best to ground through the outer edge of your left foot. And then feel the back of your right shoulder blade on the ground. Maybe you work your way over towards the back of the left shoulder blade. Enjoy one more deep breath in the back of your shoulders. Good, and start to walk your hands to the floor beneath your shoulders. Keep your leg the way it is. Just tuck your right toes, lift your right knee off the floor and press back through your hips like an asymmetrical downward dog. Feel your toes turned in, your heels splay out, your thighs spiral open. One more round. And then glance up at your hands. Shifting a little more weight into your palms is going to help with this fan kick. Use those outer hip muscles, the abductors, help you lift your left leg and then opening up the hips in three-legged dog, perhaps adding some knee circles, drawing that left knee in, out, and around. Meanwhile, relax your right calf. Feel your arms holding your weight symmetrically. Nice and balanced. One more breath. Exhale. Good. Now you could elevate your right heel on your breath in and then step forward with your left foot. Bring it outside of your left hand. Choose if you want your palms down or maybe you come onto your fingertips. Roll your shoulders back, lift through your chest, breathe in, and then lead with your heart if you're going to bring the elbows to the floor. Now it's okay if your left toes turn open and you come onto the outer edge of that left foot. Just make sure your knee and your toes are looking in the same direction. And that's true always. If it feels good to add that sway side to side, go for it. Close your eyes. Get to know that left hip. Breathe into it. Listen to it. What else can you let go of? One more deep breath. Awesome. Come up onto your palms and we'll set up for our quad stretch. So your right hand can stay down on your mat or your block. The left hand's going to reach back and then bending your back knee, grab for your foot. Remember, if the foot's hard to reach, just keep your foot on the ground. You can stay in the twist. Otherwise, you're going to kick foot into hand, lift through your heart. Yeah, you have opposite arm as leg connected. And then use your left bicep to curl your right heel in. So the arm's doing the work, the leg is simply receiving the stretch. Nice. Breathe into it. Feel that left foot piercing into the ground so much that it helps you lift the front side of your waistband as you lengthen your tailbone down. That'll accentuate the stretch, but it'll also protect your spine. Gazing back over your shoulder. Give it one more good breath. Awesome. Release your foot. Start to heel toe your left foot between your hands. And here's where we'll shift our hips back for the half splits. Stacking your bones, wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath, right knee beneath your right hip. And then pressing forward with the left ball mound, spread out through your left toes. The half flex, half point, also known as the floint. This utilizes all four quadrants of the legs: the shin, the calf, the quad, the hamstring. Now, if you look at your left kneecap, do you notice the tone? Squeeze your left knee slightly. And then add a little bit of a bend so you're not quite locking it out. Now going slow. Exhale as you fold in. Do your best to loop your shoulders back, lengthen through your neck. So the heart leads the way, more so than the nose. Sweet. Breathe in as you lengthen through your limbs. Go ahead and weave your left leg through your arms again, so your knees are on the ground, and then start to walk your hands forward for modified plank pose. Walking your hands forward just enough so you can thrust your pelvis forward, lengthen through your tail, and create one long line from your knees to your shoulders, to your crown. Pushing the ground down, lengthen through your neck. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Find that tone in the pit of your abdomen. One more breath in. Good, and then move through a modified chaturanga as you slowly lower towards the ground. Hug your elbows in so they graze your ribs. Lengthen your legs behind you so the tops of your feet can press down onto the ground. And then begin to lift your head off the floor, lift your chest. You could use your hands to find Cobra. Hug your shoulders back, clip your elbows in, claw the floor down and back as you open your heart, lift your chin. Nice, slowly release, forehead to floor, exhaling. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Again, tuck your toes under, turn on your quadriceps, slide up those kneecaps, take a breath. Exhale as you push the ground away into high plank pose. Push, 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 push. Yeah, take a deep breath in. And then down dog, lift your hips. First symmetrical dog of the day. Get to know it, get to know yourself. With your legs parallel and your toes spread wide. Sink your heels towards the floor, but no attachment to them actually touching the mat. Hug your bottom ribs in, activate your abdomen. As if your armpits can pull up into your shoulder joints as you push your hands through the floor. Feel the length in the back of your neck with your ears between your arms. And the spread of your fingers rooting down. One more round. Let it out. Awesome. Now start to lift your heels, look towards your hands, but then bend your knees a lot, like almost to the floor. Feel a little bounce in your hips, a little bounce in your knees. And then we'll practice a few hops here. And as you hop your feet off the floor, see if you can lift your hips nice and high and clap your feet. We'll try it again. With your feet back into that down dog, we'll do another hop. Maybe you can clap your feet 2 times. On this last one, we're going to do a little hop to the top with the feet outside the hands. So give it a try. Bounce off the ground, clap your feet, and then feet outside the hands in Malasana. Bend your knees. Let your hips come down, but walk your hands forward like you're doing child's pose. Let your head hang between your arms and steer your hips side to side. Notice how you talk to yourself during that moment of flight. Just notice. Very nice. Sinking your hips nice and heavy. Take one more breath. Awesome. Now start to lengthen through your legs and pivot your toes to face forward. Have your heels about hips width apart and bend your knees as much as you need to so you can slide your hands underneath the soles of your feet. So your palms face up as your hands come beneath your feet, and then you try to massage your hands with your toes. Yeah. And then as if you wanted to get out of this bind, pull up with the hands, but notice you get a little traction in the wrist. And if you have some length to work with, go ahead, lengthen through your legs. If you have length in the arms to work with, bend through the elbows, as if you can touch your elbows to your shins. Either way, let your head hang. And see if you can move more weight into the toes. Shift your hips forward slightly. 2 more deep breaths. A moment of gratitude for your hands, for everything they do for you. Nice. Now you can bend your knees if they were long, and then slide your hands out from under your feet. Keep that bend in your knees as you round and rise. Go slowly. We'll keep our arms by our sides. Just shrug your shoulders back and down and take a moment. Arrive. You can have your eyes closed to help bring the awareness inside. Have your feet underneath your hips. Yeah, so they're nice and stacked. Notice if you're swaying forward or back or side to side. Find that perfect stack of your bones with equal amounts of effort and ease. Feel the spread of your toes, the lift in your knees, the length in your tail, and that slight tone in your abdomen. Feel your shoulders squeeze to support your upper half, and level off your chin with humility. Okay, take one more deep breath. Awesome. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Take it slow, reach, reach, reach. And then for eagle pose, wrap your right arm underneath your left arm. You can hug your shoulders or spiral your forearms and grab that thumb pad. Shrug your shoulders back, lift your elbows. Now, as if you're sitting in a chair, move your hips back, bend your knees. You're gonna stand on your right foot, so tell your right toes to spread wide. Shift the weight to the right leg and start to float your left heel, your left knee is gonna lift and wrap around the right. Maybe the toes land on the floor, maybe your toes tuck behind your calf. Either way, feel your inner thighs squeeze, 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 wrap around each other. Imagine the more you squeeze your knees together, the more broad your lower back gets. And if you're feeling steady, you're breathing okay, start to fold in with your elbows trying to meet your knees. Sleeping eagle. Go slow. Keep grounding through your right big toe. Still breathing steady, then you can try to let your head rest between your arms, breathe into the space in your back body. Get one more deep breath. Slow and steady, start to unwrap your arms, reach up for the sky, lift up your left knee so it floats in front of your left hip. Good, and we'll put everything on the ground, both feet down, arms by your sides. Take a moment, close your eyes, shrug your shoulders back and down. Listen to that right side. Listen to your breath. Be the listener of your thoughts. Meeting yourself again. Breathe out. Very nice. Open your eyes, reach your arms wide to the sky. Exhale as you weave left arm under right. Spiral your forearms or hug your shoulder heads. Looping your shoulders back, lift your elbows so they line up with your shoulders, and then send your hips back, then bend your knees. Now talk to your left foot. Ask it to get ready. Spread out your toes. The right thigh will rise as high as it can go. Then as you weave right thigh over left, you get a deeper wrap. Maybe the toes make their way behind your calf. Maybe not, it's all good. But whatever you got, squeeze. Squeeze your inner thighs, squeeze your biceps like you're hugging yourself. Good. And then perhaps you start to bend forward, elbows towards the knees. Go slow, talk to your left toe. Stay on the ground, left toe. Maybe the chin comes in. Breathing into the back body for 3, 2, 1. Good. Fly like an eagle as you unwrap your arms, hike up your right knee, reach, 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 and then release. Foot to the floor, arms by your sides, shrug it off, close your eyes. Find equanimity, equal balance in your body, in your mind, in your breath. Very nice. Go ahead and open your eyes. Take your hands to your hips and turn to face the long edge of your mat with your feet nice and wide. We'll have the toes turned in for now, the heels splayed out, and just loop your shoulders back, puff up your chest, really proud. Stay here for a moment, a power stance. You can have your eyes opened or closed, but feel this expansiveness through your chest. Steady in your legs, knowing you belong right here, right now. Take a breath. Let it out. Awesome. Now breathing in, we'll fold forward on the breath out. Let your hands trace the sides of your legs, and your hands can stay on your shins, or maybe they meet your ankles. If so, you can try to pull up on your heels energetically, and then look towards your belly button, as if you wanted to get the crown or the back of your head to the floor. Feel your shoulders loop back, long neck. And imagine you could rip the floor apart with your feet. Last 3, 2, 1. Good. Going slow, you can take your hands back up to your hips as you lengthen your spine halfway up. Breathe in, hug your elbows in towards the sky. And on the exhale, rise all the way to standing. Now turn your toes out and your heels in. This time we'll bend the knees and slide your hands down onto the thighs so your hands might end up at the knees. Push down on your legs, reach up with your crown, breathe in, and then turn your heart towards the right. So you can use your left hand to gently push your left knee back and open as you turn your heart to the right and look over your right shoulder. Look up, look behind you. Very nice. And then go slow as you unwind that side, and we'll go the other way on the next breath out. Turn your heart to the left, using your right hand to gently push the right knee open. Twisting through your spine all the way up through the chin and the eyes. Very nice. Come back up through center, breathing in. Stay low in your hips. Take your hands to heart center and add a little pulse through your legs. Feel the power in your hips, the strength you have at your base. Option to explore hovering your heels off the floor, maybe a little, maybe a lot, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Ground your heels if they're lifted, lengthen through your legs, reach your prayer overhead. And then take a big cartwheel with your hands towards the top of your mat. Step your feet back towards plank pose. Take a long breath in, high plank. Move through your Chaturanga. You could let your knees land first if you'd like to do a modified push-up, hugging your elbows in as you lower. Inhale, lifting your chest through your arms. Come into high Cobra, hovering your hips off the floor. And then move into a child's pose with the knees wide, toes together, hips to heels, right where we started. But you have gained more minutes of wisdom, of stretch and strength, of life experience. So take this time to meet yourself again. Awesome. Take your time to lift your hips, swivel your heels off to one side so you can lower your seat down, and eventually we'll take it all the way to the ground. Go slow, scoot your hips forward, hold on to the back of your thighs, and then gently lie down, curling your knees in when you get there. You can draw circles with your knees, rock it out. Reverse the circles the other direction. And then allow your knees to open wide for a happy baby. Hold on to your inner feet or your inner thighs. And as you close your eyes, witness your spine. Every vertebrae on the earth, pushing down with the head, looping the shoulders back. And as you pull down on your heels, imagine your knees can touch the mat. It feels good to straighten one leg or rock side to side. Take 2 more breaths. Very nice. Now allow your knees to come together, and then slide your hands towards your shins so you can guide your feet to the mat so they land right behind your hips, setting up for a bridge. With your arms long by your sides, ground through your heels and all 10 toes, exhale everything out. And then go slow as you lift your hips off the mat. Just open up the front of those hip creases one more time. Feel your knees get narrow, like they want to touch one another. Lift your chin off your chest. Last bit of effort, 3 more breaths. Maybe you lace your fingers together and squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back. Awesome. Then when you're ready, release your hands, relax your back. We'll heel toe the feet as wide as the mat, so you have your pinky toes kissing the earth beneath your mat. And then turn your knees over towards the left. So your legs are like a zigzag. Take your hands behind your head. You could lace your fingers there. And then imagine that right knee wanted to touch the ground just inside of that left foot towards the top of your mat. If you want, you could place your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Here we're getting into the psoas. Huge muscle connecting your lower half to your upper half, transitioning right through the hip. For me, this often leads to back pain. The psoas muscle connects to the low spine there. But wherever you feel the sensation, take your breath into it. Sweet. We'll take some time for the other side. So if you were ankle crossed, uncross it. Then turn your knees up and then over to the right. Here's where you can take the right ankle on top of the left thigh and gently guide your left knee towards the floor. Do your best to lower your left ribs as well. But that left hip gets to float. As if your right shin was a match striking down upon the left thigh. Imagine that downward stroke. As if you're pulling the thigh bone out of the hip socket. Awesome. Give it 1 more breath. Very nice. Uncross your ankle. Draw your knees back up and then hug yourself. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. Talking to your body. See if there's anything else your body needs. You spend this whole time being in relationship with yourself. So if there's any last posture your body's craving, go for it. Otherwise, on your next exhale, move into your final resting pose. A few minutes in corpse pose, Shavasana. So you can stretch your legs out long, take your arms long. Press your head into the mat, loop your shoulders down and back. We did all this work in the hips, so notice this bowl of your pelvis. Let it get heavy, sink into the ground. But within this bowl, there is life. There's the inflation in the breath. It happens naturally. Allowing your body to breathe itself. Notice when the mind starts to complicate things and run off into thought. And recognize there's already so much happening here in this moment for you to pay attention to. The muscles letting go. The heart beating in your chest. The gentle rise and fall of the belly. Paying attention to yourself. Inviting in any feelings. Knowing they're here to teach us something. And only when we accept our feelings and accept ourselves for who we are, then can we start to move through them and transform. Of course, you're welcome to sift through yourself as long as you need. But as you move out of this shape, continue to operate from this listener perspective, the watcher, the witness. As you begin to breathe a little deeper, witness the expansion in your body, from your belly all the way through your chest, arms, legs, toes, fingertips. Being in relationship with each one of your digits, your wrists, your ankles, maybe even swaying your chin side to side, releasing the neck. Taking your sweet, sweet time to stretch your arms overhead. Being in your body and rolling over to the side, just pausing there to witness how this body is transformed over the last 45 minutes and over the last lifetime. It's a beautiful thing. Say something kind to yourself, a little love note for all the things your body has been able to do for you. And only when you're ready, go slow. As you rise into a seat, you can keep your eyes closed. And with your hands together at heart center, bow inwards towards yourself, meeting yourself again. Always changing and evolving. There's no one way that you are. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. The light in me honors the divine light within you. Namaste. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you again next week. Thank you.